Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 85th edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. It's good to be here again. We haven't seen y'all since Extreme Rules. We were supposed to do a review of the draft. That didn't end up happening because each one of us were busy with some things. Now, before we get started, I just want to take a quick moment and give a special shout out to fellow member of the Losers Lounge, KELSEY. Obviously, you guys haven't seen her forever, but from what we found out, she tested positive for COVID-19. So we're wishing her prayers and wishing her that she feels better soon. We love you, Kels, and we miss you. But in the meantime, folks, I have with me a fellow loser and a very special guest. So I'll start off with the loser. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome two-time Losers Lounge Member of the Year and Optimistic Hall of Famer. I'm actually going to do it a little differently this time. The one true King Balor.
Well, I mean, how am I a king if I don't have my crown? Oh, wait, I actually do have a crown that's actually over there near my dresser. So that's very interesting and very cool. Like you reference me like that, Mr. Maracle. And what's up, ladies and gentlemen? You guys know who I am. I have to introduce myself because he already did it for me. I'm Balor. And it's great to be back on the podcast. And I'm looking forward to Crown Jewel. Legit, no joke. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be good.
Did you actually think it was funny? I did the Rick Boogs intro.
Dude, for real.
It actually worked. And then
you didn't like go like.
I did not think that was gonna work, but it did. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our special guest, headliner of the 2020 Optimistic Hall of Fame class, and someone that you guys haven't seen since then, my brother, Long Neck Josh.
It's been almost a year. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. I'm glad to be back, and let's go ahead and talk some Crown Jewel.
All right, you're fired. All right, he's fired. Get out. Hey, Josh, do you remember when you broke into our podcast?
Yeah, I remember that.
We're still yet to hear an apology for that.
Well... I'm not sorry, so let's go ahead and get started.
Willie, do I have to take the pitchfork?
I mean, you got the pitchfork, you got the club, you got the attack dogs on the side.
Yeah. If you notice, Josh, a lot has changed ever since that time you broke in. We got ambushed by Retribution. I messed up a lot of crazy things. Lost the car keys one time. And, yeah, Willie doesn't trust me anymore.
That's understandable.
What?
But please look.
He gets it. See, he gets it.
Yeah.
I hate you all. Anyway, folks, we're here to talk about WWE Crown Jewel, the return of WWE in Saudi Arabia to quite a number of us. That gives us a very interesting to a majority, however. A lot of people are like, oh, I go back to Saudi Arabia. I don't know why I did that accent, but you know what?
You sounded Italian right there.
Oh, man. That's crazy. But I would say that, honestly, initially I was like, okay, I don't understand why. But then, of course, well, we all know why. They signed that 10-year agreement to do 2 events per year.
10 years.
We're going to keep this up until 2027 at the earliest. But I will say,
I'm fine with it.
For once, we look at the pay-per-view match card. This looks... hell, better than the 2019 edition of Crown Jewel, and we all remember that show was absolutely fantastic. Let's see what we got. We have 9 fantastic matches here, but before we get started on that, there is something I wanted to also discuss, which is a fan of mine had sent me a tweet saying that he's attending Crown Jewel, and his favorite wrestler of all time is Edge. And Edge is going to be competing inside Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins this Thursday at the pay-per-view. And how crazy do you think it must feel for that guy to, in any other circumstance, if WWE had not gone to Saudi Arabia, he would never have gotten a chance to attend these shows, have these experiences, and never would have gotten to see his all-time favorite compete in the ring.
It's amazing right there.
Now, I understand that, money, huge deal, obviously. That's why they signed the deal in the first place. Duh, no shit. I'm just getting that out of the way. Although there was some asshole who once told me that I cannot be respected as a result of me, quote, defending WWE going to Saudi Arabia. I'm like, I get their government's corrupt and whatnot, and yes, they've done questionable and stupid things, but no, they were not held hostage, and that journalist had nothing to do with Crown Jewel.
Exactly.
So, all I'm saying is, all that stuff is not related to WWE. What happened with Crown Jewel in 2019, that was plain delays. There was no viable evidence that anybody was held hostage, nor was there any evidence that WWE forgot to pay Saudi for their previous event. Because if they forgot to pay for the previous event, they wouldn't be having the other one.
Exactly.
You guys really have to understand how business works around here. Clearly you don't. You're just a bunch of keyboard warriors who just wants to get attention and say as much negative shit as possible. But we're here
the majority
because...
of the IWC and the YWC, you hit the nail on that.
Yeah. But we're here because, like, you know, the fans, we look at the fans of the audience, they're having a good time. Just look at every single one of those people who are going to be in attendance at the Mohammed Abdul Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Majority of the time, they will not get any events whatsoever. And this is honestly, like, once again, the start of showing that we are going back to normal after, like, the last year and a half of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's so good that we get to attend these shows again. It's really good that WWE is going overseas, not just with Saudi Arabia, but also with the UK. They've been doing a European tour, and they're coming back to Canada in December.
Nice, homie.
Huh.
And going back to something that you said earlier that I wanted to touch on really quickly, for those of you who are saying, oh, WWE shouldn't be going to Saudi Arabia, all of that, think about it. WWE does have fans in Saudi Arabia, and not everybody in Saudi Arabia is like the government. Like, not everybody is, like, has bad intentions. In fact, I'm pretty sure most people in Saudi Arabia would have good intentions. So, this is sort of just a distraction, I guess, from their normal lives. And, you know, good thing for them that they get to go and witness a WWE event.
Really good point. That's a really good one, Josh. And it's not just, of course, WWE, but, you know, several others, like dozens of other like companies and promotions and whatnot had signed deals with Saudi Arabia as part of the 2030 plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all connected. This is not just a Saudi Arabia wants WWE. WWE is just among many, and WWE is just the only one that we paid attention to because all the other stuff we're probably not even fans of, so we don't even look at it.
For real.
Precisely.
So I was saying, like, as far as Crown Jewel is concerned, we are 1-1, 2018, the absolute worst event I have ever seen in WWE. And 2019, a hell of an improvement.
Yeah, for real, man.
2019's Crown Jewel may have been one of the best pay-per-views of that year.
That could be very true, but I would also like to go on record and say that 2019's events were also very, very good, pretty much all around WWE.
Hey, Willie. I agree. Yeah, Willie, on our podcast, we never once said that there was a bad WWE pay-per-view in 2019.
Nah.
Hell, the last time there was a bad pay-per-view prior to that, Survivor Series 2018, it was only bad because Raw clean swept SmackDown.
Yep.
And then the next bad pay-per-view was Super Showdown 2020.
Oh, boy.
But
yeah, Saudi Arabia can tend to have some not so great events, but that's okay. I'm really looking forward to the event this Thursday. And I really think that even with the card that they have a stacked card. And I think that it's going to live up to expectations and quite possibly be better than the 2019 event. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Bro.
One can only hope on that occasion. But what I will say is, like, all right, let's get this over with. There's a bunch of random matches, no needed for existence. Let's take a look. Let's see. We have a WWE title match. Oh, nope, that had a setup. Okay, Universal title. Oh, nope, that had a setup. Raw, that also had a setup. That had a setup. That's got a setup. That's got a setup. That's got... Everything on this match card has a setup, guys!
Really?
That's a good thing right there.
Every single of the 9 matches has a setup. Whether you like the setup or not, it has a setup. This ain't like Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus Brothers of Destruction randomly announced prior to even the Super Showdown Australia event. this is different. We actually got a setup for everything, and every wrestler who's involved in this match has a reason for being there. Hell, wrestlers like Brock Lesnar and fucking Goldberg, they have a reason for being here.
It's almost like WWE is supposed to tell stories.
It's almost like they're actually putting effort into the Saudi shows now.
What? You don't say!
Oh my god!
I'm shocked.
Well, let's actually go through these matches and talk them, and we'll actually figure things out and whether or not we like them. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to start things off with a really good, exciting match that I am ready for, and I know Willie's ready for. The King of the Ring Finals. And Willie, kindly tell us who's in this match.
King of the Ring. King of the Ring. We got my boy, obviously, the Prince, Finn Balor, and my other boy, Xavier Woods. Like, wow.
Who would have thought that we would be seeing that as the finals of the King of the Ring tournament? Because I'll be honest, normally WWE doesn't really do the good guy versus good guy situation.
Nope.
Xavier Woods has been hyping up that he should be crowned the King of the Ring for several weeks by now. Actually, as a matter of fact, he even said the King of the Ring was his favorite concept in WWE. Meanwhile, we got Finn Balor, a guy who this year had been NXT champion, came back, had amazing matches with the likes of Roman Reigns for the Universal Belt, and now could be becoming the King of the Ring. The Prince could become the King.
Dang right he could.
So, as a matter of fact, I'll actually start with our valuable guest, Longneck Josh. I want to get your thoughts on the King of the Ring tournament and the finals that are set for Crown Jewel.
I'm excited. We have not had a babyface King of the Ring in quite a long time. If one of you guys could actually remind me when that was, that would be great. But I know it's been at least almost 2 decades.
Yeah, because I'm looking back. I'm trying to look back here. King Corbin, Baron Corbin, actually, because he wasn't King Corbin just yet. Baron Corbin, Wade Barrett, Sheamus,
Booker T,
William Regal, Booker T. All those guys were heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't had a face King of the Ring since what? Maybe what? Okay, no, not Brock Lesnar. He was a heel.
Was it Edge?
Edge? I don't know.
Edge.
Edge. Okay. Yep. Edge. That's the last one.
Kurt Angle wasn't a babyface.
Bret Hart. Bret Hart. Wasn't Bret Hart King of the Ring?
Yeah, he was actually. Bret Hart was King of the Ring twice.
Yeah, so he was a babyface too.
Well, that was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Edge got his in what, 2001, was it?
Yes.
2001, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2 decades.
Crazy.
It's literally 20 years. 20 years since the last babyface King of the Ring. Now, we're guaranteed to have one now because both competitors are babyfaces. So, Josh, continue on with your thoughts of this tournament that went on.
Not very many top names in this tournament. I'm going to go ahead and say that. We had a lot of mid-card to lower-card names, and I'm actually really happy with that because they're giving them the chance to prove themselves. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and say straight up, I really want Xavier Woods to win this tournament. He said before, King of the Ring is one of his favorite concepts in WWE. And so this, I know, would mean a lot to him if he won the tournament. And also, Finn Balor, he's a guy who's been like a top name in WWE before. Like Finn Balor, he has won the Intercontinental Championship and Universal Championship. Of course, his Universal title reign was cut short, which was very unfortunate because of the injury he had. And I do hope he wins the Universal Championship again someday. But if you look at what Xavier Woods has done, he hasn't really done much as far as a singles career in WWE. He's never held a singles title. So I think this would be a really great opportunity for him to win King of the Ring and, see what he can do with it. I feel like he would be very entertaining as King.
I believe that. I believe that very much. Because, you look at the likes of Kofi Kingston and Big E. Both of them won many singles championships and tag titles. Kofi Kingston, former WWE champion, and Big E, the current WWE champion. Xavier Woods, yes, is the only one who hasn't exactly got a major singles win.
Yeah, now what we need is if Xavier Woods wins the King of the Ring, we need Kofi Kingston to dethrone the head of the tape. Just kidding.
Yeah, that ain't happening. We all know that. All right, but yep, I actually like your points of view, Josh. Xavier Woods should get the win. I'm saying Xavier Woods should get the win more because Finn Balor's already accomplished, well, a lot more than Xavier Woods has. For both on the occasions of singles titles and even WrestleMania. So, with that being said, I'm going to move things over to heel Balor. What is your thoughts on the King of the Ring tournament and the finals?
I'm going to piggyback on what Josh said. There are lots of mid-carders in this thing, which is pretty good, and people who could have been built up to win this whole thing. And I looked at all the names, I was like, some of these guys that you could win. And I looked at Balor, I looked at Xavier Woods, I was like, put these two in the finals. Let's see what they can do. Had that thought in my mind that Jinder Mahal was going to win and go to the finals, but, thank God that didn't happen. But here we are, the finals. I'll start off first with Xavier. Xavier is one of my favorite members of the New Day. And he has been really overlooked. He's been overlooked as, like, the small guy. He's overlooked as, like, oh, you're nothing but a big card, which is true. Maybe he is a big card to some people out there. He kind of is, in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. And like you guys just said, he's never won anything that big like Kofi and Big E have won. He's never won WWE Championship. He's never won, singles championship gold in WWE. And I think it'll do him good to win King of the Ring, which I am totally fine with. On the other hand, you got Finn Balor, just got back, from losing to Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules in a very funny way. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Finn Balor is not buried, by the way. Y'all need to chill out.
Yeah, if he was Barry Wisey in the King of the Ring finals.
Exactly, Christian. I can see people all over the world like saying, "Oh, well, he's buried. He needs to go so and so." Blah blah blah. Finn Balor's not buried.
Really quickly, I've always had an issue with people saying that certain wrestlers are buried after certain losses. That's not true. Like, you're not gonna win every match in WWE. Like, you're probably more than likely gonna lose some unless they're like freaking, I don't know, Goldberg. Just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, referencing back to his like undefeated streak, he eventually lost that. You go back to Asuka, she had a long undefeated streak. She eventually lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania.
The Undertaker,
he was undefeated at WrestleMania. Thank you, Willie. 21-0, and then he lost to Lesnar. So it's just a matter of fact that your favorite superstar is not going to win every single match that they have, and you're just going to have to live with that.
Exactly. Like, you can't go undefeated forever, and like that's a thing like that shouldn't happen in wrestling because you're going to get tired of that individual.
Exactly. And for those who are saying, "Oh, this superstar is buried now because they maybe put over another superstar," maybe they're trying to put over a young talent that may not.
Jeff Hardy.
But I want to say, like Finn Balor, he was putting over Roman Reigns because think about what Roman Reigns has done for the past year, like as a dominant champion. He's the greatest Universal Champion in history, and he's just adding to his list of opponents, and hopefully we'll get to this match later on. He'll add Lesnar to that list. But anyways.
Yeah, but just, and it's just see and hear people like saying, "Oh, Finn's buried," all that kind of stuff. Send him to, send him wherever the heck he needs to go. Like, it's just really stupid in my opinion. Y'all just need to hang on tight, and just be patient because I think they got big plans in store for him. Regardless if he wins King of the Ring or not, I think big plans are in store for Mr. Balor. So I'm not worried at all. But on the like I said about Finn Balor, lost to Roman Reigns in a pretty funny fashion, and he wasn't buried like y'all just said right here. And here he is on Raw. And they're treating him like a big deal. Like he's being treated as a pretty big deal on the Red brand so far. And I think this is a new Balor. And I think, going into this match, I'm fine with either one, to be honest with you, winning. I really can't make a choice because I like both guys. I'm fine with either one winning. It'll do great for either one to win. You could have Balor win in a heelish fashion, which I think maybe that's the way they go. Maybe Balor could turn heel, which I would not mind whatsoever because, it's been a while since we've seen, pun intended, heel Balor in a while. And you got Xavier, who, shout out to my boy Beast Mode 9000, who threw out the idea Xavier could win the tournament and he could get power hungry, all that kind of stuff. He could, maybe go after WWE title, go after something he wants. I don't know, man. Shout out to Beast Mode 9000 for that idea right there. And but like I said, I really can't make a choice. But if I were to make a choice, gosh, it's so hard because, like, listen, I like both guys, but I'm just going to say I'm fine with either one winning. I don't care. I'm fine with either one.
So you're gonna
I like both guys.
So you're going to be
I want
neutral,
to do good. That's all that matters to me. I'm fine with either one. Whoever wins, I'll be happy.
Okay, so you're going to be neutral on this occasion, huh?
Yes. Yes. I love Xavier. I love Balor. So.
This is the second pay-per-view in a row where you're gonna be neutral about something. Remember having Roman Reigns and the Demon? But that was different. That was different because you were legitimately like concerned about how that was going to turn out. We were both legit concerned. Had a hell of a rant. That was fun.
Yeah, for real. Like the way it turned out, Extreme Rules was just. I remember just looking at the screen. I'm like just laughing a little bit because I'm like, what was that? Like it was kind of funny at the same time. But I had my friends, kind of going off like, oh my gosh, this is bad. This is horrible. He's buried. I'm like, calm down. He's fine. Granted, they didn't explain like the aftermath of it, which that's gonna be the most forgotten thing in wrestling. I think it's gonna be like the who threw the pie, Kevin Owens, or whatever, man. It's just one of those forgotten things on SmackDown.
Well, for the record, that was me who threw the pie at Kevin Owens.
Oh, so it was you. I kind of figured.
Yeah, I revealed that. I revealed that like 3 years ago. But
wow.
As for me, okay.
I'm going neutral on this one. I don't care who wins.
All right, Josh has selected Xavier Woods. Willie's going to be neutral. I'll be honest. I honestly think Finn Balor's going to take this. As a matter of fact, I know how much this means to Xavier Woods. But Finn Balor has been on a roll even after losing to Roman Reigns. He's been on a roll since he came back to the main roster from NXT. It's as if going back to NXT was his rebirth, exactly what he needed. He had a second long title reign as NXT champion, lost to Karrion Kross, came back up to SmackDown, feuded with the likes of Roman Reigns, and now he's facing off with Xavier Woods. He's just recently drafted over to Monday Night Raw in the draft, which, by the way, folks, as each match goes on, we might put our little insights on when they were drafted and whatnot. But I will say, Finn Balor's drafted to Raw, which means, in my opinion, like he could be a top star over there since the likes of Drew McIntyre is moving over to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And if Finn Balor wins King of the Ring, he actually could say that since he is the king of WWE now, he should honestly be in contendership to Big E and the WWE Championship somewhere in the future.
Sure.
Yeah, do that down the line. Don't do it right away. Because I could see him potentially being the man outside of another individual to dethrone the WWE Champion, that is Big E.
Yeah.
So, and going back to something that I said earlier, and we're going to have a babyface King of the Ring. Now that I'm thinking about it, this may not be true. We could see some type of heel turn in the match, and I could honestly sense that coming with two babyfaces going at it for the top crown, especially after the little incident that happened on Monday. So
that was funny.
And that reminds me. The other reason why I'm picking Finn Balor to win is because Xavier Woods wore the damn cape. You don't wear the cape.
That's another thing that kind of gave it away, and he held the scepter, and I was saying don't you put on the crown, don't you dare put on the crown, and thank God he didn't, but still he wore the scepter, and he wore the cape, had the scepter in his hand. Granted, Balor pulled the scepter out of his hand, but he didn't hold it up, he just took it away from him. And that little stare down kind of stuff. Here comes Kofi Kingston, and which I would not mind seeing Finn Balor win in his first rivalry. His first big rivalry kind of is with Kofi, because I could see Finn, maybe winning in heelish tactics. He's going to basically what Xavier would do if he probably won King of the Ring. The power's going to go to his head. He's going to become this ruling, dangerous king, and he's going to rule. And that fits well with Balor's gimmick. He's the prince.
Well, you got to also remember that Kofi Kingston's on SmackDown. He won't have the feud with Finn Balor.
That's true. Well, that's right. That's right. So bro, it could go either way, to be honest with you, but Christian, now that you say it, Balor does make sense more, but like I said, I'm just going neutral because I could see Xavier winning, and then he could do the power hungry stuff, or he could be the good lucky babyface podcast, go out to Roman Reigns or whatever. You'll be perished into existence, but or he could do Balor and build him up as maybe the big threat to Big E, along with a certain other individual, which I will name right now, Keith Lee. So that's the other guy I'm thinking could dethrone Big E. But that's way down the road. But I'm just very excited to see how this match plays out, and the second I saw the people in the tournament, I was like, just put Balor and Woods in there and just see what they can do. And it's the first time ever they faced off. They've never touched. They've never faced off before, so this is gonna be very interesting.
That is true. Got fresh matchups set up in store for this case, and what I will also say is if Finn Balor wins it, I honestly think I've even said the winner of the King of the Ring tournament should be the team captain of the Men's Survivor Series team at Survivor Series.
I like that, dude.
Finn Balor as the leader of Team Raw heading into Survivor Series. How cool would that be?
Oh, take my money, homie. That's dope.
So I'm going for Finn Balor in this case. Josh is going for Xavier Woods, and Willie's going to be neutral, so this is tied.
Yep.
With that being said, folks, we're going from one tournament to the other. This one is a lot more negative, honestly. The Queen's Crown finals, and in the finals, it's Doudrop versus Zelina Vega. And I'll be honest, that is not what I thought was going to happen. And by the way, the match just ended as when I finished the sentence. But, let's be fair. The booking of the Queen's Crown tournament, the setup for it, the build-up heading into it, we've been saying for a long time, there should be a Queen tournament. And when they finally announced it, we were excited. We were ready to go. Like, okay, let's do this. But unfortunately, they rushed literally every single one of the matches. Every last match that took place at the Queen's Crown tournament was severely rushed. Lasted like less than 3 minutes. And majority of them were roll-up wins, anticlimactic stuff. And a lot of times, a lot of people's favorites, a lot of the top ones that people were favorited to win, did not win whatsoever. That all started on the first night with the likes of Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega, who the hell did she beat? Toni Storm and Carmella beat Liv Morgan. Toni Storm and Liv Morgan. Could you imagine if that was a match of the semifinals?
For real.
That was a good opportunity right there. And then on the Raw side, let's see, like, for one thing, Doudrop beat Natalya, and Shayna Baszler beat Dana Brooke. Well, let's be honest, Shayna Baszler was always going to beat Dana Brooke. But the one thing that shocked the living hell out of me was Doudrop beat Shayna Baszler to qualify. And I was like, whoa, did not see that coming. When she had that Kirifuda clutch locked in for a couple minutes, I was like, yeah, that's it. It's over. Shayna's going to absolutely crush Zelina. And, oh, nope, didn't happen. Doudrop managed to use her strength and pin Shayna. And now, no shocker, people are saying Shayna Baszler is buried. Saying, what was the point of building her up? Will you guys just give us a fucking break with that crap?
You gotta remember that Shayna, and I'm not going into detail about this whole, oh, she can't go to Saudi Arabia thing. She's already debunked that, apparently. But I think the reason that she didn't win is because I think there's more in store for her. She's going to be, in my opinion, she's probably going to be the bodyguard for Sonya Deville in this little robbery Sonya's having with Naomi. She could be her heavy all kind of stuff. And I know you're thinking, oh, that's kind of been degrading for her, blah, blah, blah. Shayna's going to be booked as a beast going forward. Really think about it. She's going to be booked as a monster going forward. This is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted her to be a monster, and now she is. Just be patient and watch what happens.
Hell, honestly, Sonya Deville is a hell of a talker, and Shayna, not so much.
Exactly.
So,
goes hand in hand.
Sonya could be basically her Paul Heyman.
Pretty much.
That's one way of putting it. And as for the Queen's Crown finals, yeah, a lot of everyone's favorites were taken out early on. This is not exactly a match I thought would happen. Zelina Vega versus Doudrop. This is literally one of the bigger women's wrestlers versus the literal smallest women's wrestler. And that's a funny thing to think about. And people are saying for the longest time, oh, Zelina Vega, when she came back in July, oh, she keeps losing every single time. She's losing. She's losing. She's losing. Then she starts winning. She starts winning right here. Starts qualifying in the Queen's Crown tournament. Now she's in the finals. And y'all want to talk shit about it.
You know, just goes to show, don't rush things in life, especially in wrestling.
I'm going to go back to what you were talking about with Shayna Baszler really quickly. You know, what people need to understand is that WWE may have other plans for Shayna Baszler, as they were saying. And also, you never know. Like, I feel like Shayna Baszler losing to Doudrop on Raw in the semifinals, I think this is going to make her more dangerous. And, you know, is that what we want to see? We want to see a more dangerous Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to what you were saying about Zelina, I was one of those people originally who was upset that why did they bring Zelina back? All she's doing is losing, and then she started winning. And honestly, I'm happy she's winning. Like, I'm not one of those who's like, oh, now, why is she winning now? Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I'm actually really happy that Zelina's starting to win matches. And to be completely honest with you guys, I could easily see her winning this match at Crown Jewel. As much as people say, oh, she's going to get squashed by Doudrop, I could see her doing some type of heel tactic to win the crown. And this is mainly because, like, when you look at Zelina Vega, like, and what she could do possibly as queen, like, I just really think that would be a good suit. Like, it's well suited for her. And I don't see it as well suited for Doudrop as it is for her.
All right. You really know your stuff, bro.
Not bad, homie.
Indeed. So, Willie, I'll actually start with you. What is your thoughts on the Queen's Crown tournament and the finals?
Very questionable booking with this entire thing. Do I think these people were buried in the process? No. I really don't think so because, you know, like people were like, oh, Liv Morgan's bad. People were very upset when Liv Morgan got eliminated.
No, like, the thing is, they're just continuing her feud with Carmella.
Exactly. Like, they're mad when she lost Money in the Bank. They're mad here. I'm like, y'all need to chill out and be patient. And I keep getting comments like, oh, but nothing's going to pay off. There's nothing that's going to happen. Oh, we're done being patient. I'm like, then y'all aren't going to succeed being a wrestling fan. You really aren't, because patience is a virtue, man. That's the problem with that, with the wrestling fan base. None of y'all have patience. Be patient with this whole thing.
Yo Balor speaks the truth.
Oh, for real, that's what I do here, man. It's opinions, facts, it doesn't matter. Like, we're here to tell our shtick, and that's it. But like, I think, you know, with people, you know, just assuming that these people are like, you know, buried or underutilized in this entire thing, I really don't think so. You know, like Josh said, they're building up Liv Morgan for something even bigger. Maybe a Royal Rumble win. I don't freaking know. But we'll see what happens with Liv Morgan. And the other people, like, they were very questionable. You know, Shayna, when she lost, I didn't flip out. I was just like, huh? Okay. Like, I was just shocked. I kind of laughed out, too. I was like, what happened here, WWE?
And that just goes to show that WWE still has that shock factor.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
Here's the thing. You don't always have to like the shock factor in order for it to exist. There's a lot of shock factors that happen that we absolutely despise. There's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. One of them, well, being, I'll say it, the Seth Rollins, The Fiend, Hell in a Cell ending.
Yeah.
That was a shock factor. But we did not like it.
Secret Showdown when The Fiend lost the title to Goldberg.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call that one a shock factor.
I was shocked. I easily saw The Fiend going into WrestleMania as champion, but...
Same here.
Okay.
Look at another shock factor. This is from NXT last year. Leon Ruff defeating Johnny Gargano.
Sure.
The North American Championship. Like, my jaw dropped when that happened. I was like, what?
I was at my brother's house, like, spending time with him when I looked up, saw that had happened. And I just burst out laughing, and he turned around. He's like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, I'm sorry. It's just something that's about wrestling.
Oh, man. It was just so shocking. Or most recently on NXT, Tommaso Ciampa becoming the NXT champ. Everyone thought Pete Dunne was going to walk out champ. Nope, Tommaso Ciampa did.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, I easily saw Ciampa winning the title like that. That wasn't really much of a shock to me. I could have saw.
My opinion, the bigger shock was Samoa Joe being injured and relinquishing.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere. Like, for real.
And here's the thing: people were saying that was fake.
That's what was just him, by the way.
People are saying that was fake.
Yeah. People are saying that was fake, for real.
Where's the evidence? Where the hell is Samoa Joe right now? Then, if he's not injured, where the hell is he then?
People are thinking that this whole thing was designed to move Samoa Joe like away from the quote unquote new NXT, which by the way I love NXT 2.0 by the way. But people are saying, oh, it's designed to move Joe away from, and they're trying to phase out the NXT from the past and their stars. I'm like, well, look who's the NXT champion right now. They're trying to phase everybody out. Nobody's being phased out. They're just bringing in new stars, which I love. Right. So what's that? You know, just goes to show. But where were we? Oh yeah, the tournament. We got way off track, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it was very questionable booking going into this whole thing. Coming out of it, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be neutral with this. I mean, I'm fine with. I don't know. Like, I don't know where to go with this. Let's give it to Zelina. Why not? I don't know what they do with Doudrop as the queen. Maybe she'd be goofy and all that kind of stuff. I think it fits more Zelina because of her gimmick, all that kind of stuff. She'll be like Let me think. She'd be like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, and I can totally see with that. Her being the evil ruler over all the land, all that kind of stuff. Not cutting people's heads off, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're going with this stuff, but no. But she could be the ruler with an iron fist, demand whatever she wants. She'll be like if Balor or Xavier Woods win King of the Ring. An evil ruler. I don't see Xavier being an evil person, but still. Giving up wrestling, but still, I'm not going with Zelina Vega to win. It just makes more sense to her character, and I don't think I'll be upset if Doudrop wins. I'll probably just laugh. I'll be like, okay, cool. What's next? But I think it fits more Zelina Vega here. I'm going to go with Zelina Vega to win.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm honestly going on the likes of Zelina Vega as well. Let's just be thankful for one thing, though. That Doudrop is not with Eva Marie during the time when she's in the tournament. Otherwise, Doudrop would have won, and Eva would crown herself as the queen.
Thank God Eva Marie's was in the freaking tournament.
Thank God Shayna Baszler snapped her arm.
Oh, for real.
That was awesome.
I feel so bad for Eva. Like, I'm one of those people where it's like, I kind of welcomed her back with open arms. I'm like, let's see what she does. Let's calm down. And then, it fell flat on its face like we all expected. But still, at least I gave her a chance. So there's that.
Yeah, I was one of those people who gave her a chance as well. Like, a lot of people were upset to see her return, and, they're like, oh, why did they release these superstars to bring back Eva Marie? And I'm like,
exactly.
You never know what Eva Marie could have looked like in the Performance Center, training to come back.
And for the other thing, bringing in Eva Marie had nothing to do with releasing the other talent.
No.
I had it with people saying that those things are one and the same.
When they're not.
Yeah,
they're really not.
They're literally not. And speaking of, Willie, you mentioned Zelina Vega being looking like Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I will at least say, folks, Alice in Wonderland's a great movie. It's a classic.
It is.
But I still believe, Zelina Vega, she'll find some sort of heel tactic. She'll defeat Doudrop and very questionable decisions. Oh, however, she also has been wearing the crown.
That's right. She has been wearing the crown.
She sat down on the throne with the robe and scepter and the crown during the Doudrop Shayna Baszler match. I'm like, yeah, I think Doudrop's going to get this.
There's the curse.
Doudrop's the only one who hasn't touched the crown.
Neither did Balor.
Yep.
And Balor didn't wear the cape.
The only thing Balor did was touch the scepter.
That's really it.
But here's the thing. Both Finn Balor and Xavier Woods have touched something on the King, so they're both with bad luck, so somebody's going to get it.
Exactly. People were telling me, like, oh my gosh, well, we should not have either one of them when they both deserve to win. I'm like, how is that going to work? Like, you can't have two kings. I mean, in hindsight, you can, because in the very, very past medieval times, but this isn't medieval times. Like, this is wrestling. You can't have two kings.
Yeah,
that'd be weird.
Yeah, so here's another thing. Like, this is honestly something that I would have considered. Josh, I don't know if you touched on this as well. Like, we talked about this while we were hanging out on PlayStation, but didn't you say something about spread out the King and Queen tournament instead of having them both take place at the same time?
Thank you!
I don't think I was part of that discussion. Now that I think about it.
Oh, well, here's the thing was, I was like talking with some friends on PlayStation, hanging out, and one of the things that brought up was like, what if we had this a yearly tradition for Saudi Arabia? For Crown Jewel, it's the King of the Ring, but for earlier in the Super Showdown, it's the Queen's Crown.
I like that idea.
Now, I remember somebody saying that, and, honestly, I think that's a great idea.
Instead of having them both take place at the same time and having to rush everything together, it allows more time for each tournament to actually do something.
Yeah.
And hell, but once again, I'm going back saying, Zelina Vega's going to take this. Josh, did you put in your prediction for this?
I also picked Zelina Vega.
Okay, we're 3 for 3 on Zelina Vega here. Okay. We're going to move on to the next match, and this is a match I am very excited for. This is the first time ever we got two Muslim wrestlers competing against each other. It's Saudi Arabia's own Mansoor against his former tag team partner, Mustafa Ali. And I will say, I'm just going to, before we get started on the predictions, I'm going to say this right now. This match has potential to be match of the night because they're in Saudi Arabia. They want the fans to enjoy their own hometown boy competing a match. And Mustafa Ali is a hell of an athlete.
He is.
I 100% agree with you that this could easily be the match of the night.
Allow me to reverse the time. Mansoor versus Cesaro.
Enough said.
Yeah, that's still the show.
I give that 4 out of 5 stars. I'm like, I never thought that Saudi Arabia event would have one of the best matches of 2019. And like, it was just like nonstop great action. It was only 12 minutes long too, but it felt like it was 30, and it was so good.
Short, sweet, and to the point. That's why I like my wrestling sometimes.
Mansoor versus Dolph Ziggler at Super Showdown 2020 also did great.
It did.
And this is the first time ever that Mansoor is competing at a Saudi Arabia event with an actual storyline set in place, because the last two, they just were randomly announced because they wanted to showcase their homegrown talent. In this case, Mansoor and Mustafa Ali have been teaming for about a month and a half. And to be honest, I know that they had like a breakthrough because Mustafa is like constantly pissed off at Mansoor, saying, "Hey, how's it going, man? Clapping hands. Yay, I'm being a fan." But honestly, I think after this match, I think for one thing, I'm just going to say, yeah, I predict Mansoor to win. And I believe after the match is over, Mustafa Ali is going to gain respect for Mansoor and realize Mansoor ain't a loser. He's actually he's actually the real deal here. And he's really serious about what he does.
He ain't no loser. We are the losers, for God's sakes. You be talking to us, Mustafa. We're the losers around here. We talking about
And since they both got drafted to SmackDown, I believe that after Crown Jewel's over, they're going to go back to teaming up. Hell, maybe they might be a heel tag team.
Ooh. It's not a bad idea.
That would be amazing. I'm just saying, I think this match is taking place because, for one thing, they wanted to get Mansoor on the card, and that's understandable. And they just didn't have enough. They just didn't book them for a tag title shot in time for this.
Yeah, for real.
So I like the idea that they are going to compete against each other, and it has potential to be match of the night. There's actually a lot of matches that has potential to be match of the night. Finn Balor versus Xavier Woods is one. This is another. This is why I'm excited for Crown Jewel, man. For us up here in the East Coast, Willie, he's on Central Time. For us, it's for Josh and I, it starts at 12 noon, and for Willie, it starts at 11 a.m., So we're going to have a fantastic morning/afternoon of wrestling.
It's going to be great.
So I am excited for this match, and I predict Mansoor is going to win, and afterwards Mustafa Ali, it was like Mansoor wins Mustafa Ali's respect, and they go back to teaming, and they may end up actually having a name for once. We don't know what they'd be. So Mustafa Ali, I don't know what nationality it is. All I know is he is of Muslim descent. I don't know if he's like Saudi Arabian, a little bit, or if he's there's others. But Mansoor, he's from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, so he's definitely going to get the hometown pop.
He is.
Do you remember Super Showdown 2019? Of course you don't. When Mansoor won the 51-man Battle Royal. Do you remember that crowd reaction?
I do. It was huge.
Did you also like how I said, do you remember Super Showdown 2019? Of course you don't. I just had to say that for laughs. Anyway, yeah, Mansoor to win. And Josh, I'm going to go to you. What are your thoughts on this match?
First of all, I just looked it up. Mustafa Ali is of Pakistan descent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, regardless, he's still a Muslim, so this is really cool having the Muslim versus Muslim match in Saudi Arabia.
It's the first time ever, folks.
Yeah.
And here's the best part about it. No, sorry I keep cutting you off, Josh. But,
no worries.
But here's the best part about it.
Saudi Arabia, of course, Mansoor's hometown. I'm sorry I cut you off there. I'm not letting you cut me off. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, Mansoor, I see getting the win in what could easily be match of the night. And I do like your idea of Mustafa Ali possibly gaining respect for Mansoor and them coming back as a team. I'm sort of 50-50 on that idea, though. But we'll see what happens.
But back to what I was saying, the other cool thing about this is yet another WWE first time ever. And the best part about it is they're not shoving it in our faces that this is hyped up as the first time that two Muslim wrestlers are competing against each other. They were not constantly saying that on commentary, on the build-up, on the hype. And that's the best part about these type of like first time evers. You let it sell itself. You let the moment sell itself. You don't just constantly say over and over, oh, there we're having two Muslims compete against each other. No, you don't do that. They haven't done that, which makes this all the more better. You let the moment sell itself. No disrespect once again to Sasha and Bianca, but they way the hell overhyped it as the night where two black women competed in a main event match at WrestleMania. They literally said it on commentary over and over again. I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, this is historic, yes, but you're not letting the moment sell itself. And a big one again. Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston, the first time two black men compete against each other for the WWE Championship. They did not, like, constantly bring it up. They let the moment sell itself. When you let the moment sell itself, it becomes that much more historic.
Agreed.
It's like show, don't tell. It's like in porno, you don't just flat out say, oh, they came all over each other in the end. You just let the moment sell itself. You get the dudes jerking each other off, all up in their faces. Good night. Bam.
Anyways.
You let the moment sell itself. Just like that. Ta-da!
We just sold this podcast. That's all I gotta say.
I'm probably gonna get us demonetized for saying that shit. All right, Josh, go back to what you were saying.
I'm scared now.
I'm so sorry, folks.
But anyways,
it's okay. I'm gonna take sex offender class after this. Just kidding. I'm not actually one, folks.
Wait. I was gonna say, you haven't already?
Wow. Okay, I see where this is going.
Shame on you, Willie.
All right, but in all reality, folks,
Exactly.
no, I'm not a sex offender. Everybody knows that.
But anyways, like I said, my pick is Mansoor. I just don't see him losing in his hometown to Mustafa Ali.
All right, and Heel Balor, your thoughts on this matchup?
Mansoor's gonna win. Mansoor's gonna win in a match that people are legit sleeping on, man. I've been telling about, like, y'all gotta wake up. This is gonna be a fun match, for real.
Remember when we said,
remember what I said going back to your favorite wrestler isn't gonna win every match he's in?
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing. Mansoor is not gonna lose a match in Saudi Arabia unless it's against another Saudi Arabian.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Well, he's certainly, in my opinion, not gonna lose to Mustafa Ali. If Mustafa Ali wins, then I will agree to never appear on this podcast again. That's how serious I am that Mansoor is winning.
Josh, you are welcome to appear on this podcast whenever you're available. You do realize that, right?
I know, and I'm just setting a stipulation. Ow.
Wow, that's a serious stipulation right there. That's all I gotta say about that one.
Yeah.
This man better keep his word, though.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding.
Well, I will say, we all had great picks for this, and I freaked the living hell out of everybody with my little talk. But, okay, we're going to move on to the next match. Are y'all ready for the next one?
Yeah.
I don't know if the audience listening are, but sure.
Willie? Josh? Hell in a Cell!
All right, Josh, get in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is another example of a massive shock factor. Edge versus Seth Rollins. A match I honestly predicted it was going to be last man standing because of the whole thing with Edge getting stomped in and his neck and everything, and he'd be staying down. But Edge announced this as Hell in a Cell. Whose jaws dropped when they heard that?
Fine. My jaw dropped and I was like, again, WWE? Again?
Yeah, this is like what, the 6th or 7th Hell in a Cell match this year?
7th.
7th Hell in a Cell match this year. 10th since late October last year.
But way too many Hell in a Cell matches this year.
Yeah, he really did. But this is the first time ever in a long-ass time, hell, since fucking Shane McMahon and The Undertaker in 2016, that they had a Hell in a Cell match in a non-Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And this is for a story... Oh, actually, then again, that storyline didn't exactly call for it. To say the end of an era Triple H Undertaker match. This is the first time since then that we have a Hell in a Cell match in a rivalry that called for it.
Yeah, man.
After everything that Edge and Seth Rollins went through, their match at SummerSlam was amazing. Their match at SmackDown in Madison Square Garden, also amazing. Then there was the home invasion.
Got me. Randy Orton Triple H vibes from 2009.
Yeah, for me it was more Edge, John Cena vibes in 2006.
So there was no dad for Seth Rollins to slap.
And let's be honest, if Beth Phoenix was there, she would have whooped his ass.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But, man, the way Edge delivered Hell in a Cell in that promo. And here's the thing, the promos Edge and Rollins have been cutting on each other have made this, in my opinion, the best rivalry of 2021.
Oh, for real, I was about to say it too. Edge and Rollins, outside of a few other storylines in all of wrestling, in my opinion, this has been one of the best out there, in going right now.
What are you talking about? The best rivalry in 2021 was Dewdrop and Eva Marie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. And the return of the year was Eva Marie.
Exactly.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Some guy who drinks Pepsi. Yeah. And some vegan.
Folks, never mind. This whole thing, this rivalry, this match, it sucks, and I'm not looking forward to it.
In all seriousness, the intensity that Edge has had ever since returning to WWE, and you can tell, his love for WWE and professional wrestling as a whole, it's just made everything he's been in so much better. And, I've really thoroughly enjoyed everything that Edge has done since his return. So, I am really looking forward to this match. And, I'll go ahead and start out with my prediction. And this is a difficult one because I can see it going either way, but I think they're going to give it to the Rated R Superstar.
All right. I'll be honest, I actually think they're going to give this to Seth Rollins. Because, not only do I believe Edge is probably going to take time away after this is over, but also because Edge is elevating Seth Rollins very much in this feud to the point where Seth is almost unstoppable and could be rising his way to perhaps challenging Big E for the WWE Championship one day since he's on Raw now.
Sure.
And Edge is also on Raw. Here's the likes of Big E versus Seth Rollins. That could be great. There's a lot of great matches that could be in store.
We could go back. I'm sorry to cut you off. We could go back to long-term storytelling because who did Big E defeat to win the NXT Championship?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Continue.
Indeed.
There you go.
That's honestly about it, though.
Yeah, bro.
But it could turn into something. You never know.
Yeah.
Even the smallest things. I guess this wasn't really a small thing, but this huge thing with Edge and Seth Rollins is based off of what happened back in 2014.
Long-term storytelling, folks.
Long-term storytelling and long-term booking.
When Edge came back in 2020, I really thought to myself that he should feud with Seth Rollins over what happened that time in 2014.
And that's where we are now.
Yeah, we're in fucking Hell in a Cell. This is the first time in Saudi Arabia history there's a Hell in a Cell match taking place.
Yep.
They've had a steel cage match at the last Super Showdown event, and that was honestly boring because it was Roman Reigns and King Corbin. And that was at the time. A time a feud that went on for way too long because of dog food and how the hell did they have dog food in it? But not once did they have a dog collar match.
Oh God, don't! Oh God, no.
I'm like, how the hell did they not have a dog collar match? But hey, let's be honest. At the Royal Rumble 2020, they had a great Falls Count Anywhere match at least.
They did.
The TLC match was horrible though. But Roman Reigns, of course.
Oh,
Roman Reigns has been on another level since then. But Edge and Seth Rollins, Edge's matches so far in 2021. All going back to when he won the Royal Rumble match at number 1. That's impressive after everything that he's been through.
Right.
Won the match at number 1. Competed in several matches. Here's the thing. As much as I know Edge makes part-time appearances, I don't look at him as a part-timer, honestly. He ain't a part-timer. He wrestles even on SmackDown.
Yep, he's not part-timer.
Yeah, he shows up almost every week. He cuts either to cut promos or wrestle, sometimes both.
Yeah, dude.
And it's the same thing that we see with Cena, in my opinion. Like, when Cena does come back to WWE, like, he usually wrestles on SmackDown or Raw or wherever he is and cuts promos, shows up every week. So,
and John Cena, when he came back this summer, he competed at almost every single live event.
Yeah.
Yep.
He wrestled at either live events or dark matches after Raw and SmackDown.
True.
So he actually was wrestling. We just didn't see it. You can't see it. Oh, that's funny to think about. So the same thing could be said for Edge. I don't think he's appeared at house shows, though.
No. I don't think he has.
Yeah, I don't think he has yet. That could change in the future. But his feud with Seth Rollins, absolutely fantastic. Their matches, absolutely fantastic. Hell, I loved when Edge did his Brood entrance at SummerSlam.
That was sick.
It's a shame Gangrel couldn't make an appearance, though.
Oh, for real.
But either way, the match delivered. Edge almost strangled the living hell out of Seth to make him tap out.
Yep.
And then Seth Rollins stomped his head in at Madison Square Garden.
Hmm?
And I won't lie, I was legitimately concerned for Edge. Because he may be back in wrestling, but I still have legit concerns about his neck.
So, dude, it's like maybe with Bryan Danielson. Scary stuff these guys are taking.
Yeah. And that's understandable, too, because we care about their well-being. So we're like, okay, check on them, make sure they're okay. A big example of that, Jeff Hardy. Remember the time he hit a swanton bomb and his head hit the fucking stairs?
Yep.
Yeah, that was recent.
That was against Elias in the Thunderdome. And when that happened, we instantly yelled, "Oh shit, stop the match, check on him, check on him."
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, he had a swanton bomb off that ring post. He put Elias through the table, but his head hit the fucking edge of the stairs. And I still look back on that, I'm like, oh my god, that hurt.
And, that's one of those cases where it's just like, you're only a few inches away from being, like, potentially dead.
Dead or paralyzed, one of those freaking things, or either way, done with wrestling.
Exactly. It's amazing all the stuff Jeff Hardy has gone through, and he's still wrestling today.
And here's the thing, I know for the fact that Seth Rollins has had a history of injuring people, likes of Sting and Finn Balor, and even himself. But the fact that Edge legitimately trusts him to, work a safe match, that goes to show that Seth knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
And that's why I know I guarantee this is going to be a fun Hell in a Cell match. But I believe Seth Rollins is going to get the win because I think he's the one who would benefit from this a lot more than Edge would.
Okay.
And thus, heel Balor, it's your turn.
This has been a fun rivalry. In my opinion, this has been rivalry of the year. Outside of a few other rivalries and other wrestling companies. I've really been enjoying it. They've been doing fantastic work. This is Edge's best work, in my opinion, since returning, in my opinion. And Seth's, too. Seth has been on a whole different level, in my opinion. And what a better way to end inside Hell in a Cell. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be brutal. This will be Edge's second Hell in a Cell match in 2008 against The Undertaker back at SummerSlam. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Miss those days. Good times. And, it's going to be a good match. I am going to go for the Radar Superstar to get the dub. Maybe he writes Seth Rollins off TV or whatever. I think this will be a violent, brutal match. It's going to be fun. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be insane. And there's going to be weapons. There's going to be just insanity inside that cage. And I expect the Radar Superstar to walk out with the dub. If Seth wins, cool. I don't care who wins. Just give me a good match, boys. I think it's going to be a great match nonetheless. And I'm in with Edge.
All right. Josh, did you get your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I still selecting Edge to win this match. I think mainly just for the feel-good moment.
All right. Okay, folks, we're going to move on to a match that's exceedingly personal. A no-holds-barred match with Bobby Lashley and Bill Goldberg. And normally, once again, when you hear the name Goldberg in Saudi Arabia, you groan because, oh my god, he's gonna win another fucking title. Newsflash, the title's not on the line this time. There's no title.
Not even a title involved.
Yeah, there's not a title involved whatsoever here. And the match has a reason for existing. Goldberg didn't just randomly show up. Okay, at SummerSlam, he randomly showed up and challenged Bobby Lashley. But this ain't SummerSlam. This is Crown Jewel. Like, they built up a storyline from that match. Because after it ended, remember what happened? Bobby Lashley put the Hurt Lock onto Gage Goldberg.
Yes, good times.
And Gage, props to that 15 or 16, I don't know if he's 15 or 16. Props
He's
to
15.
him. Props to him. He sold the living hell out of that move.
He did.
100%.
And that was fantastic to see. Goldberg, the moment we see him like over his son and he telling Bobby Lashley, I'm going to kill you. I'm like, yeah, they're going to face a Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
But this
And
time...
What's with Big Goldberg here talking about death and killing in this rivalry?
Good
What
God.
the heck?
Yeah, this is kind of...
This man I heard just talking about killing people. Like, I'm going to kill you. That gives me a license to kill. And I'm like, dude.
Whoa. Then again, from a father...
It's just so questionable.
From a father's perspective, I could understand that part.
I know that. But dude, Bobby's a father too. Jeez.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg's like, I hope your kids are watching and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, dude. Just when he said, that gives me a license to kill. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa. However, I will say the one line I did enjoy was when he said, "You're next and you're dead." That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Remember back in 2016 when Goldberg told Brock Lesnar, "You're last." Well, he clearly wasn't last.
Surprise, surprise.
Hell, that was, oh my god, that was almost 5 years ago to the day. Man, it was...
But anyways.
I pick, honestly, Goldberg's going to win this. Because, well, now that there's no title involved, I think we can safely have Goldberg win.
I agree. But going back to what you guys were saying about Goldberg actively like saying on Raw, like, I'm going to kill you, I have a license to kill, all that stuff. I'm honestly surprised WWE let him say stuff like that.
Yeah. Hell, I don't think they would have let The Rock say that.
Yeah.
Then again, The Rock has better ways of saying he's going to take you down.
That's true.
But Goldberg in
You
this
see
case,
this
Goldberg in
this
this
is
case
the
is
people's testicle. I'm going to throw it up in the air, look at it, damn, that's a fine testicle, and stick your goose straight up your candy ass.
pretty much, yeah, that's what The Rock would say. But Goldberg in this case, he's an Avenger because of what happened to his son. So who would have thought that for once we're looking at a Goldberg match and we're like, oh shit, this match has a reason for existing? You know, this is, if we could just do that and like his match with Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series 2016, then we're fine with Goldberg making them one-off appearances. So, Josh, I'll give you I'll let you continue with your thoughts on this no holds barred match.
This no holds barred match, I hope it's heavy hitting. I hope it's somewhat similar to the match at SummerSlam, actually, where we saw Goldberg actually wrestle. That was actually really cool, seeing him do some lockups with Bobby, you know, doing some other stuff like that. But as far as the physicality, like, sure, their match at SummerSlam is physical, but I expect the physicality of this match to be much, much worse. And especially with Goldberg and Bobby Lashley saying they want to end each other's careers. So, you know, I want to actively see, like, moments in this match where we are scared for one of these wrestlers' careers.
Yeah.
Storyline, of course. Like, I don't want them to actually, like, you know, get dropped on their head or something. But, like, you know, I want to see them kick each other's ass to the point where, storyline-wise, the commentators are saying, well, actually, the commentators over-exaggerate a lot of things, but to where they can make us believe, will this wrestler, will Bobby Lashley, will Goldberg be able to come back from this and wrestle again? And I think, to me, that would make this match very, very brutal, and it would help this match live up to expectations.
That's a really good way of putting it. You know, honestly, we should have Josh quit his day job and join us on the podcast full time. Just kidding. Don't do that. Josh puts in fantastic insights, and that's awesome.
That's why I came back.
Yep. All
Heck
right.
yeah.
And Josh, who do you predict's going to win the match?
You know, kind of like with Edge, I said that was a feel-good type of thing. That match, I think, though, like, is more unpredictable than this match. I think this match, I really just don't see Goldberg losing. But it could happen, but I'm selecting Bill Goldberg.
All right, then. And heel Balor.
Not bad. It's going to be a violent match. It's going to be a pretty fun encounter between these two. And just like Josh said with SummerSlam, I hope it's the same way. I hope it's just these two beefy big boys going there and beating the heck out of each other. And the result, in my opinion, is going to be Big Bobby. I really think that Bobby Lashley's going to pick up the win here.
Big
How?
Bobby.
I don't know. I think Big Bobby's going to somehow win.
You know, now that I think about it, there could be a way Bobby Lashley wins. And, of course, that is with the Reunited Hurt Business.
Dang right, homie.
It's really good to see the Hurt Business back.
It
It
is.
is.
And here's the thing. People are saying, like, they should never have broken them up in the first place. Well, this is WWE's way of saying, yeah, we fucked up. We're sorry. Here you go. Because do you want them to literally say, we're sorry. We fucked up. Here you go. Fuck that.
It's like how the end of 2020 apologized to us.
Yeah. That was crazy. 2020 is a crazy-ass year. 2021 has also been a crazy-ass year, but the second half, let's be honest, the second half has picked up. Especially since WWE, AEW, and other places have been finally going back on tour. People are finally going back on places. Hell, even I went back on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, homie.
Yep. My tour continues on Halloween, folks. But moving forward, though, so Willie, you're sold on Bobby Lashley winning. Josh, you're on Goldberg, and me, I'm also on Goldberg, so that's 2-1. Curious.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Wow. All right, ready?
There we go.
We're 5 matches in. You ready to talk the 4 championship matches?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
We're starting things off with the Raw Tag Team titles. The champions are K-Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Versus Omos and the phenomenal AJ Styles. And of course, people will say, why does this match exist? Well, for one thing, this AJ and Omos, they didn't get their rematch yet.
Exactly.
True.
This is just their rematch, folks. Plus, like I said, this has a reason for existing.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. They've been consistent with the feud. May not have been the best, but that doesn't mean it has no reason for existing. Okay? So,
Exactly.
I'll be honest. If there's going to be a pre-show, I can honestly see this match being the pre-show match. In my opinion, like, this match has the lowest build-up out of everything that's in the pay-per-view. So,
It's just a rematch anyways, so, yeah.
Don't just love RK Bro. Like, especially Randy Orton putting on the headset when Riddle's talking.
Oh, yeah.
This is honestly one of the most entertaining tag teams I've ever seen. Since Team Hell No, for God's sake.
Yeah, I was about to make that reference as well. Like, this RK Bro is really, in a way, Team Hell No vibes. And, I've really enjoyed their pairing. And, eventually, I don't know if they're going to break up. I don't know. I think they will at some point. But I think the question is, like, a matter of when. And, as much as I hate to say it, I could easily see this breakup happening at Crown Jewel. But I don't think it's going to happen. And I think RK Bro is going to successfully defend the Raw Tag titles against AJ and Omos.
All right. I honestly believe that RK Bro will also retain those titles and start up their program with the SmackDown Tag Champs, the Usos, for Survivor Series.
Sure.
Could you imagine, like, Riddle, like, being absolutely hilarious about the Usos? Saying, like, how about this? You go after the one on the left, I'll go after the one on the right. And then Randy's like, what are you talking about? Well, bro, they look the same, man. And
That's right, bro.
in a way, I think we could also look the same. It's like, I think we could also look the same, bro. I mean, sure, you might need a wig or something and take your shoes off and have a scooter, but we can make it work.
And I might need to get those sick tattoos that you have. I mean, just look at those skulls on your arm, man.
Yeah. Anybody could literally imitate Riddle's voice, and it sounds accurate.
It does. It's so funny.
So, well, then again, I got long blonde hair, so I could actually pull off a good Riddle impression. But
are you high right now, Christian? Is that the question? Are you high right now?
I am high on life, bro.
Well, there you go. Now you're Riddle.
Yep. Yeah, I believe RK Bro's gonna retain in this occasion. I believe sometime in the near future, AJ Styles and Omos are gonna go separate ways. Hell, who knows? AJ Styles, since he's on Raw, could also be a hell of a factor against Big E for the WWE title.
Agreed.
Yeah, some people were saying to me as well. I would not mind AJ Styles and Big E.
I could definitely put.
They've actually been facing off at house shows recently.
Well, I guess it could happen in the future. With RK,
I see personally Big E versus Omos, but that's just me.
That could also happen.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Here's the thing. So far, still to this day, Omos, he may have been knocked off aprons and whatnot, but he has still never been knocked off his feet.
That's true.
Hell, remember the days when Braun Strowman made his debut and he had never gotten knocked off his feet?
Yep.
Even when he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble, he was still on his feet.
Yep. And they can both run fast.
Yep. So,
they both have deep voices.
So yeah, there's not much to say for this occasion, but yeah, I'm just going to say, yeah, RK Bro, I predict they're going to retain those Raw Tag titles and continue their hilarious shenanigans just a little longer.
That's right, RK Bro's going to win, bro. That's what I'm picking, bro. RK Bro.
Oh, that's how you're predicting it?
That's right, bro.
Okay. We're 3 for 3 for RK Bro, everybody, and let's move on to the next match. This is very interesting. We might have quite a bit to talk about in this case. It's a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Oh, boy.
As Monday Night Raw's SmackDown Women's Champion, Becky Lynch defends against Monday Night Raw's Bianca Belair and Friday Night SmackDown's Sasha Banks. Gee, I wonder where this is going to go.
We got Survivor Series early, kind of.
In a way. Or at least we could have if Bianca had beaten Charlotte Flair for the Raw title, which she did not, unfortunately.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was still a good match.
This match was made official before the draft even took place, but when the draft took place, everything got badly fucked. Let's be honest. It got badly fucked. As Raw Women's Champion Raw Women's Champ Charlotte Flair got moved over to SmackDown, and SmackDown Women's Champ Becky Lynch got moved over to Raw. Now, you would normally think they just go immediately for the title swap. I'll be honest, after Charlotte retained her title, I sadly think Becky Lynch is going to retain her title, and they're going to be forced to either vacate their belts or do a title exchange, which I know Becky and Charlotte would not want to do. As for the way it should have been done, in my opinion, Bianca Belair should have won the Raw title on Raw this past Monday to head into Crown Jewel as the Raw Women's Champ. She would fail to win. The Raw title would at least be back on Raw. Sasha Banks would win this match, get the SmackDown Women's title back over to SmackDown, and then we would culminate with Bianca versus Sasha Part 3 at Survivor Series. It was right there, folks. It could have been something cool. Their match at WrestleMania was amazing. Their match on SmackDown was cool, but it had to be cut short. This could have been their chance. You had it. It was right there, and you blew it! And now instead we're stuck with this. We're stuck in a situation where the Raw and SmackDown champion are on the opposite brand, and a title exchange is a bad idea because, let's be honest, it kind of devalues the titles. Hell, if somebody's a champion on a branded title from Raw or SmackDown, they should honestly not be allowed to be drafted.
I agree.
Because it just doesn't make any damn sense. Or just rename the belts or something. Call them something else or something. The women's title. The women's universal title for all I care. Whew. Man, I had to get that out. As for this match, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair. This could be this is honestly one of the bigger matches in the women's division. A lot of people are sleeping on it, of course. No shocker. But these are three of the top stars in the women's division today. We have the man, the boss, the EST. Folks, just be thankful the Queen is not involved in this match.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they got the last minute edition.
Wait, hold on a second. Sorry. What did you say? Sorry, Willie was making a lot of noises on his end.
What's up?
Say it again.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of noise. Willie, what are you doing?
Are we good?
You messing with your mic or something?
I'm right here. What's up? No, I'm right here. What's up?
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. Josh, continue what you were saying.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, actually, I would be surprised now. But I was thinking to myself on this past yesterday for us, that I wouldn't be surprised if they added Charlotte to this match and made it a 4-way just for the SmackDown Women's title, especially if Charlotte lost the Raw Women's Championship. But since she retained it, I think they'll just keep it a triple threat. And I hate to say it, but I agree with you that I just don't see Bianca's not going to win. Let's face that. She's on Raw. They're not going to have her win. Sasha Banks, I don't see her beating either one of these two women in this match. So I think they're just going to have Becky Lynch and do some type of title exchange, which I think is absolutely stupid. But
yeah, the logical thing that should have happened was Bianca wins the title on Raw to bring the Raw title back to Raw. Sasha wins this triple threat. Sure, it would have been predictable, but at this point, who gives a shit? It would have been cool.
Exactly.
And it would have been the logical way.
Bianca versus Sasha at Survivor Series.
Yeah, it would have been the logical way of bringing the titles back to the brands they're supposed to be on.
Yep.
Yeah, man. For real. For real, man.
And knowing Becky and Charlotte, they're not going to go through with the title swap because they legitimately not legitimately in real life, but they just don't like each other.
Exactly.
The difference between what happened last year with the Street Profits and the New Days, they had mad respect for one another. And they actually made that title exchange look cool. Because did you like how what was it, Angela Dawkins had told the New Day, like with the Raw belts, treat Patricia right. And then when they got it, oh, blue. And I like how Montez Ford was like, ooh, blue. That was cool.
Yeah.
But in this case, this is different. Becky and Charlotte, they do not have respect for one another. And Charlotte Flair, this is honestly a horrible nightmare. She wants to unify the women's titles.
Please, God, no.
Don't do that.
Please, no, don't do that.
If you do that, then less and less women are gonna get... Hell, if you merge the damn divisions, say goodbye to like 15 more women, 10 more tag teams, and 25 to 30 more male participants.
Agreed.
Say goodbye to them, because if you merge the divisions and have both brands competing like the same wrestlers on two different shows, like what happened in the early 2010s, SmackDown, I didn't watch it for 3 damn years because it was the same wrestlers not doing anything of importance or showing recaps of Raw. It was that boring. When the brand split came back, everything became watchable again because new opportunities, different wrestlers. It's like going to one side of the house and then there's another over here.
Pretty much.
And here's the thing. I don't think they're going to merge the divisions or the belts because USA and Fox don't want that. The networks, they want balanced rosters. That includes championships. Each side has a world title, a mid-card, a tag title, and a women's title. The women's tag titles, yes, get rid of that. Who cares about that, honestly? And hell, if you get rid of the women's tag titles, you could honestly add in a women's mid-card title.
Potentially, yeah.
Something that could be going into both brands. And that could be for other women who honestly haven't been getting a lot of opportunities for the top titles. But these women's titles, like, there's a reason why they have one for each brand is because they each have large rosters. There's not enough for just one. Get that through your thick skulls, folks. It failed the last time they unified the belts. It'll fail again this time. If they do it, it's going to fail. Mark my damn words. It failed last time. Hell, you remember before the brand split happened. Let's see. We had a world title, the Intercontinental and US title, one tag title, and a women's title. There was only 5 titles, and normally people would be like, okay, that's totally fine. The problem was their roster was like 3 times the size of a regular one.
Yep.
And little to nobody got anything done. And then when the brand split happened, a lot of wrestlers were shown consistently. Consistency, folks!
Mm-hmm.
Everything becomes colorful, both literally and figuratively. I like that. And honestly, it should stay that way because their roster now is a lot bigger than when the 2016 split began.
Agreed.
Hell, do you remember SmackDown in 2016? There were only 6 women on the roster. 6! 6 women. And now, there's like 12 to 15 to 17 on both sides. On one side, actually. Combined together is like 30.
Yeah.
Boom. No reason to unify anything. Okay, I'm done ranting. I can breathe now. So I believe Becky Lynch is going to retain along with the title swap. Josh believes the same thing. Willie, give us your thoughts on the SmackDown Women's title match.
Been very questionable storyline going on here, in my opinion, but I have been enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie, I've been enjoying it. I mean, for God's sakes, Maracle Bex is the champ going into this entire thing. Hell, since SummerSlam, and Sasha Banks returned to Extreme Rules, which was, I guess, looking back at kind of good booking. Keeps both the women, Bianca and Sasha, keeps Bianca and Becky safe. And, and here we are. Here we are. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they do with this match. Who do I think is going to win? I don't want a title swap, just like you guys said, for the reasons you guys said. But knowing WWE, they probably will do it. I'm doing this because I'm biased or anything. I'm a huge fan of her. I'm just going to say it because I think she's going to retain Bex. I'm going to go for Bex to get the win. She's going to retain her title and then do a stupid title swap. Just, I don't know. That's WWE's way of doing things. And, people are like, oh, but Sasha, she should win. Be the babyface on Raw or SmackDown. Raw. She'd be babyface on SmackDown. Sasha babyface. No. She doesn't fit well as babyface. She fits well as a heel. Bianca's on Raw. Becky's on Raw. So what do? Do the title swap. Even though it's not going to make that much sense since Charlotte and Becky hate each other. But, whatever. They'll do a title swap, and we'll see what happens from there. Becky Lynch is going to retain.
Hell, honestly, like, if they do their title swap, that just adds another number to Charlotte's record. She'll become the 13th time, then.
Gross.
Gross, indeed. All right, folks, we're going to move on to the next match for the WWE Championship. Big E versus Drew McIntyre. And let's be honest, yes, there was not a lot of build-up to this one, but I actually like that this has honestly been a smooth feud. It's not exactly, I don't even know if we could call it a feud that much. They've been teaming, yes, but there hasn't really been a lot of face-to-face confrontations. Maybe a couple of handshakes followed by maybe a small little beatdown. But can I also bring up, I also brought this up on my brand new series that I called WWE QuickSins. It's like how Drew McIntyre apologized to Big E by saying, what was I supposed to do? It's like, I'm sorry for hitting you, but what was I supposed to do? Like, what?
Exactly, dude.
That doesn't make any sense. But
that was funny.
Honestly, like how...
Speaking of the WWE QuickSins, I watched it earlier today, and just a shameless plug. I don't care. It's his channel. Go check it out if you have not. QuickSins is a new series that I'm really excited to continue watching that Christian is doing, and I think it's something that you guys will all really enjoy.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. Big E and Drew McIntyre, this has potential to be a great match. There's not much in the feud. This is honestly one of the lowest, in my opinion, one of the lowest hyped up matches of this show, but it has star power with Drew McIntyre, who, and has a good reason here. Big E, he just started his new WWE title right after cashing in Money in the Bank a month ago, and you have Drew McIntyre, who brought up the good point that he's been WWE champion for over 300 combined days, and he has never been champion or won the title in front of a crowd. He has never been WWE champion in front of a damn crowd. in both reigns. He won the title in front of nobody. Lost it in a Thunderdome. Won it back in a Thunderdome. Lost it in a Thunderdome. And did not make it to WrestleMania as champion.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame, too.
Yeah, that's why. But here's the thing. I do not think Drew's getting his moment right now, obviously. In my opinion, save that for WrestleMania. Since he's on SmackDown, he should be the one to face and defeat Roman Reigns. But that's a story for another time. That's a story for another time. In this case, though, I know for Big E and Drew, they should put on a great back-and-forth match. It should be enjoyable. The Saudi crowd, they're going to have a lot of fun. But, yeah, Big E, I predict he's going to retain the championship and start off with some fresh new feuds heading in after Survivor Series. Because I know for heading into Survivor Series, he's going up against Roman Reigns because the Usos said so.
Yep.
The battle for brand supremacy will continue. And we will actually, once again, folks, us as fans are going to go at each other as well because we're going to get involved in the war. This is an actual fun war, not something to be taken seriously like some dumbass ratings and key demographic shit.
Exactly. And people have the last name Khan in their name.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I know. Just for the record, I even said this on Twitter, and this is a fact. Success is not determined by TV ratings and 18 to 49 key demographics.
Very true.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Wait, what? Bam Bam Bigelow.
What?
I don't know. Something. All right. Big E, I predict, is going to retain the title, and I look forward to his match with Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. They haven't gone one-on-one. I know they did tag action, but I'm glad they saved Big E and Roman going one-on-one for this pay-per-view. So, anyways, Josh, your thoughts on the WWE title match?
I mean, what is there to say other than it's a WWE title match? I pretty much agree with everything you just said. I want Big E to win and face Roman Reigns in the Survivor Series. So you pretty much covered everything I was thinking.
All right, then. Basically, Josh is one of the what he said moments.
Yeah.
All right, Willie, your thoughts on the WWE title match?
Like you guys said, there really hasn't been much of a story going into this entire thing, because let's face it, it's just two guys just going at it and slapping meat for all we know. So, and I think it's going to be a really fun match. It's going to be enjoyable. I've enjoyed Big E as the WWE champion so far. I get him a chance, and so far he's passing with flying colors. He's actually being serious. He's not, licking the championship and, doing questionable things with the title. He's being himself. He's having fun. He's not like what Kofi was. That's kind of a weird comparison, but still, like he kind of isn't like Kofi.
Yeah,
in a way of like he's actually entertaining.
Yeah, let's be
honest.
honest.
Not like Kofi was bad, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'll be honest with Kofi's WWE title reign. It was good, but being with a New Day kind of derailed it.
Exactly. That's the other thing. Like Big E's on his own,
and while he is still technically part of New Day, they're on separate brands.
Yep.
And I think that was the best decision for him.
So far I'm enjoying it, though. Yep. And he's doing very well as WWE champion, but Drew McIntyre is not winning the title here. He's not. We all know he's not.
Because he's going to SmackDown.
Exactly. Like, why would he win the WWE championship and go to SmackDown? That leaves Raw with nothing. Literally nothing.
Unless free agent Brock Lesnar. Just kidding.
Yeah, free agent Brock Lesnar. Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, imagine that. But yeah, Big E's going to retain, and he's going to beat the Big D. The Big E's going to beat the Big D.
Giggity.
Yeah, giggity. We're going to slap some meat, too. That's apparently,
we're the most entertaining podcast in the YWC, and you know it.
Oh, for real. Yeah, it's going to be a fun match. Big E's going to go over.
I know you all can't see me, but I'm face palming and shaking my head.
Oh, come on, Josh. Just because you had to cancel your show, I'm just... Oh,
damn.
I'm sorry, bro.
Wow. That's a low blow right there. Dang.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, for having me. I've had it.
Your ass is staying here until we're done, because we still have one more match to talk about.
And let's get into that match. If you don't mind, I would love to introduce this match, Christian, because this is the match that I am the most excited for on this pay-per-view because it has had the best story build-up, in my opinion, other than Edge and Seth Rollins.
And that is Reginald versus R-Truth for the 24/7 title.
Now, imagine if that actually main evented this show.
Okay, I'm sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
I knew I should have broken it. Anyway. The Universal Championship is on the line in a one-on-one matchup. Probably the match I'm most looking forward to. Actually, it is the match I'm most looking forward to. The Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table with his special counsel, Paul Heyman, in his corner. Roman Reigns is taking on somebody who Paul Heyman used to advocate for and may even still advocate for, Brock Lesnar.
The farmer from Canada.
Yep. Gotta love Canada. And let's be honest, he looks damn good looking like a Viking.
He looks more intimidating now.
He really does. He looks more jacked, too.
Yeah, here's the last time Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar faced off. Roman had a kind of a height advantage. Now Brock has the height advantage.
Gee, I don't know what it is, but Brock Lesnar, man.
I told you, he's out there suplexing the cows and all that kind of stuff, man. What do you think he does on his daily routine?
That's how he milks them.
True.
How about this? Like, here's the thing. Let's be perfectly fair. How many of us have looked back on his return video from SummerSlam just to listen to Pat McAfee yelling, "Yes!"
And that's about to
And you want to know what's funny? Brock Lesnar's return has more views on YouTube than CM Punk's AEW debut.
What does that guy do? Hold on a second. Josh, what
I think Punk's video has like 10 million, I believe.
Okay, I'm just saying, what does AEW have to do with this?
I don't know.
I just think it's funny because everybody's like, "Oh, CM Punk has the biggest return in professional wrestling."
Let's be perfectly fair. He kind of did.
He kind of did, but I just think it's funny that Brock Lesnar has more views. Anyways, let's get to the match.
True.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Let's see. Like, the one thing I can't wait for in this match is I can't wait for Pat McAfee to call the match.
Pat McAfee has been the best thing going, in my opinion, on commentary all year. He's so funny.
I 100% agree with you.
The alpha male of our species, as he calls Lesnar.
Bro, the alpha. And the way he just marks out to Nakamura and all that kind of stuff. Pat brings something that many commentaries bring, but, you know.
I loved when he said something about, like, if the aliens invaded Earth and we had to send one human, this is who we would send, Brock Lesnar, blah, blah, blah. Like, the man has some legendary quotes and some legendary moments on commentary.
And hell, Michael Cole has been a lot better ever since teaming up with Pat McAfee.
I 100% agree.
Not saying Michael Cole was bad, it's just he has a lot more character in life again.
Yeah.
And it's not as annoying as 2011 heel Michael Cole.
Yeah, no, he is, like, you can tell, like, he is really, really, really into, you know.
And hell, you know, Pat McAfee and Michael Cole's reactions to Brock coming back, that was legitimate reactions. They actually had no idea he was going to be there.
I'm not surprised.
That's why Michael Cole's like, Brock is here!
It's like when he didn't know, nobody legit knew Cena was going to be playing the tank. I feel like with the commentators, like I said, I was legit surprised too, but like it's one of those things where it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's one of the big returns. It's like, holy crap.
That's the one thing I like about all these returns like that are done just literally out of nowhere. There was like no rumors that Brock Lesnar was going to show up at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think that was the main difference between John Cena and Brock Lesnar's return. When John Cena returned, we all kind of expected him to because like there were rumors that him and Roman Reigns go one-on-one for the title at SummerSlam. But as far as Brock Lesnar is concerned, there is nothing on the internet saying, "Oh, he's gonna return from WWE," except for maybe the few fans who were like posting dream freaking results for SummerSlam or whatever. But that was just incredible.
Hell, honestly, we kind of figured, like, you know, okay, after Roman's done with Cena, he's gonna take on Finn Balor at Extreme Rules, which did happen. So we figured after SummerSlam, after he beat Cena, the show's going to end with him standing over Cena, and then we go off the air. But then Lesnar's music suddenly hit, and there he is. And now, here at Crown Jewel, Brock Lesnar's first match since losing the WWE Championship to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36. And he honestly looks better than ever.
Oh, yeah.
It's also his first time in a while since wrestling in front of fans.
The best thing about this rivalry, Paul Heyman and his allegiance.
100%.
Hell, honestly, I think it's actually fitting this feud began at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Allegiant Stadium. That's the best part about this. So there were times where Roman, as Paul Heyman's clearly been on Roman's side, then all of a sudden he's like talking for Brock Lesnar, and then honestly, like this whole. Who enjoyed that contract sign when Brock Lesnar said, I already reviewed the damn contract with my advocate, Paul Heyman. And then he pretty much just left after that. I like how he just didn't even look at the contract as he scribbled all over it.
Yeah, and then he just straight up, like after he said that line, he just left laughing. And of course, Roman Reigns had a smile on his face when he signed the contract without reading it. And then as soon as Brock said that, Roman's smile went to a complete, like, look of disbelief.
And then he slowly turned to Paul Heyman, who looks scared shitless.
Exactly.
That's why I'm excited for this. Honestly, they should have made Paul Heyman the guest referee.
In my opinion, actually, and a lot of people may disagree with this, but this has been my favorite feud that Roman Reigns has had since he won the Universal Championship, other than his feud with Jey Uso.
Hey, yeah, that reminds me. Hey, Willie, remember we were on a podcast for Clash of Champions last year, and when it came to the Roman Reigns-Jey Uso match, we literally said, don't sleep on this match, even though it literally says Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. We were like, don't sleep on this.
I do.
And that match gave us anxiety, for God's sake.
Oh, it did.
We were actually...
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we were literally yelling, Roman, stop!
Yeah, I think the thing with that match was we all kind of expected going in that Roman was going to win, but, like, just how brutal he was, we weren't expecting that.
Hell, the I Quit match at Hell in a Cell, remember that? We literally shouted at Jey Uso, dude, just quit, just quit!
Right.
This is not worth it, just quit. I like the way it ended, though.
Very true.
When Roman had the guillotine locked in on Jimmy Uso, and Jey was like, stop! I quit! I quit!
Yeah.
So, and now, like he was saying, Roman's had great feuds with the likes of Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Finn Balor, Edge, I already said Edge, sorry, John Cena, even Drew McIntyre Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And now, even Demon Finn Balor, which was at first confusing, but now I understand results. Even Rey Mysterio. And now, Brock Lesnar. The list just keeps going on and on. Roman has put on great match after great match against all these people. My favorite one so far is still his match with Cesaro. That's a 5-star to me.
For me, the one with Daniel Bryan.
Which one?
So much intensity during that match.
Was it?
What's up?
Which one? The one at Fastlane or the one on SmackDown?
The one on SmackDown.
His last night in WWE. Hey, at least Bryan's
last... Yeah, the one at Fastlane was pretty good.
At least Bryan's last night was a fantastic match with Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
Brock Lesnar.
Daniel Bryan also had a fantastic match with Brock Lesnar back at the 2018 Survivor Series event.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
So, here's the thing. This character that Brock Lesnar's playing right now, he's clearly having a good time because I bet he was happy to be back in WWE in real life.
What's wrong?
So, the fact he came back as a face since Roman Reigns is playing the heel here, I know it's Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar again, folks, what match we have seen at literally 2 different WrestleManias and a couple of SummerSlams and the Greatest Royal Rumble and whatnot. But there's a difference this time. This is not Roman Reigns wanting to conquer Brock Lesnar after failing all the other times. This is different. This is the head of the table against, well, the Farmer Viking. And this is also about the allegiance of Paul Heyman.
Exactly.
And that's why this is honestly, in my opinion, going to be a main event you do not want to miss. Because Paul Heyman said he's walking with the Universal Champion and he's leaving with the Universal Champion, but he never specified who.
Yep.
So in this case, as much as I don't want it to happen, I could see Brock Lesnar winning the Universal Championship, but actually, I see Roman Reigns retaining because Paul Heyman selects the Tribal Chief over Lesnar.
I can see it.
Because honestly, right now, like Roman Reigns is still needed on the top of the world.
Yes.
And here's the thing: his title reign, has been better than Brock Lesnar's long Universal title reign.
Don't remind me of that.
504 days and only what 8 to 10 defenses. Roman's defended it like 15 times or something.
Yes.
And he is still about 100 days away.
He is.
I have a feeling if Roman gets past Lesnar, he's going to pass the record. Because,
he will.
In my opinion, Roman should not drop the title unless it's at WrestleMania against the credible opponent.
I think he's dropping it, man, regardless.
Yeah. He should drop it to Drew McIntyre. Like I mentioned, that's a story.
Exactly.
A story hopefully we can tell for the future at WrestleMania for the Season 5 premiere of the Losers Lounge podcast. But for this case, yeah, I see Roman retaining thanks to Paul Heyman screwing over Lesnar. All right. Willie, you're next. Goldberg.
Oh my gosh, this rivalry has been intense. It's been fantastic in my opinion. Where does Paul Heyman lie, ladies and gentlemen? I don't freaking know. Like, Caleb Braxton doesn't even know. Which, by the way, those interactions are hilarious, by the way. Those are funny. But just the rivalry has been fantastic. Ever since Lesnar returned at SummerSlam, Brock's been doing a fantastic job as the babyface. Roman is Roman. He's been doing great, too. And this is the guy where I actually said at SummerSlam, I legit sat loud like, this is the guy. This is the guy to finally beat the Tribal Chief. And I don't know what could happen, to be honest with you. I honestly think that Roman's going to retain because Paul Heyman's going to maybe there'll be times where Paul is going to try accidentally. There'll be times where Paul will try to accidentally screw Roman. Yeah, there'll be times where like maybe he'll try and screw up the count or whatever. Yeah, the 3 count or whatever. I don't freaking know. There'll be times like I don't think Paul is going to like what's Paul going to do? Strike Brock Lesnar? Yeah. I could just see that. Paul runs around the ring. Yeah, Paul running, actually. I could see that. Him running around the ring, him getting in the ring, spear, guillotine. Or, there's another thing. And we don't know what was on the contract, right? Now, what if, I saw someone on Twitter say this here, what if this is not a one-on-one match? What if secretly in the contract, because the Usos don't have a match at this show, what if in the match, there's like a thing where it's like, it's a handicap match. The Usos and Roman against Brock Lesnar.
Well, maybe
Brock has to win by pinning Roman.
Maybe that explains why Roman had that look with Paul Heyman saying, "Why would you do this?"
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I even but I could easily see because remember. There was a time where Paul Heyman has competed in handicap matches in WWE. There was a time where Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman defended Brock Lesnar defended the championship in a handicap match with Heyman at his side against Edge.
I remember
that. I could see something like that happening, where like Brock Lesnar saw the contract, it's going to be Roman and Paul. Versus Brock or. It's just very, very interesting to see what this whole thing is going to be about. But I do agree with you, Christian, and I think that Paul Heyman is going to choose Roman, and that is how Roman is going to retain. Because think about this. I think going into this match, Roman Reigns is going to have some sense of worry because he's not knowing where Paul Heyman's allegiances lie. You have Brock Lesnar, who's been smiling this whole time because he thinks, he's trolling with Roman and he thinks he's going to win the title. And I think that when Roman eventually does retain the championship because Paul Heyman helps him, he's going to have that look of relief on his face. And that's something that I'd really want to see.
Exactly.
the fact that we see Brock Lesnar competing without Paul Heyman by his side and just having a lot of fun is something we have not seen since the late 2000s in his first run.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't late 2000s. It was still early 2000s, but you get my point. The late portions of his first run.
And you got to keep in mind, Lesnar is going to go away after this. That's what people are saying. Like, Lesnar is going to go away and he won't return until the Royal Rumble. There's rumors apparently that this robbery is not going to end. Like, there's rumors the robbery is going to continue until WrestleMania next year. I'm like, I don't know about that one. But if the story's right, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens with that. That's just only reports and rumors, all that kind of stuff. It's just like, I don't know what could happen. Like they could have had, like, I would have had, like, where Paul Heyman was hung from a shark cage.
Bringing back the shark cage again.
Yeah, dude.
That was used a lot from 2016 to 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, we just don't know where Paul's allegiance is going to lie. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe the Usos are slipped in there because they don't have a match. They have a match on this card. And that's where the handicap match comes into play. Maybe Paul Heyman is inserted into the match, too. A 4-on-1 handicap match. Now, we all know in real life, Brock could easily decimate those men in seconds. And yes, even the Tribal Chief will get decimated too. But let's be real here. It's professional wrestling. It ain't that real. So let's think logically. Let's think smart. That's how wrestling fans think sometimes. But I think that in the end, Roman's going to retain. And yeah, that'll be it. Because we got Survivor Series coming up. And granted, WWE has this, for some reason, has these ideas of like putting titles on people before Survivor Series, Drew McIntyre, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. But I think it's going to be a little bit different this time. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I really don't.
I think for
once,
stay
on Roman.
I think for once we're going to see Big E and Roman Reigns come as champions after Crown Jewel and heading into Survivor Series. If there's any titles that are going to change hands prior to that, it's probably going to be either the mid-cards, tag teams, or women's.
Oh, for real. That's about it. The main titles ain't changing hands, I don't think. If they do, that's fine. I'm fine with the WWE title. Certainly not changing hands. The Universal title?
No.
Big E.
I don't see it changing hands for the rest of the entirety of 2021.
Oh, for real. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the match. I'm just excited to see where Paul Heyman lies. People are telling me, they're saying, like, oh, what should main event the show? Yes, people are really saying what should main event the show. It's kind of fun. They're like, the women should main event. And no, I'm not making this up, ladies and gentlemen. People are actually saying this. The women should main event. The Hell in a Cell should main event. This match should main event. Who cares what main events?
Crown Jewel's is stacked already.
Exactly.
At this point, anything.
SmackDown roster back in 2008.
As a matter of fact, anything could be stacked at this point. Anything could be main event.
Oh, bro.
So,
even the stack of pancakes I had this morning. Come on.
So,
you think I'm lying?
Perhaps. So, Willie, your prediction on who's going to win?
Roman Reigns is going to go over. Somehow, some way.
All right. I say Roman Reigns. You say Roman Reigns. Josh, who do you say?
Roman Reigns.
Okay. 3 for 3 on a lot of things. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, that culminates our predictions to Crown Jewel. But before we end this podcast, there's a complaint I have. There's only one bad thing about Crown Jewel. There's no When Legends Rise.
Yeah, I know, sir. Hey, but the song is by The Weeknd. Leave The Weeknd alone. That's my guy right there.
Come on, The Weeknd. They had 2 WrestleManias.
So? And I know it's like, yeah, there was no Legends Rise. I was like, well, dang it. Really?
That usually gets us hyped up, but you know, it's okay. But The Weeknd.
You better say that for another pay-per-view outside, like whatever happens in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. That song is so good.
Yeah. All right, folks. That culminates our predictions. I want to say, like, this is going to be awesome. Josh, it was cool to have you on here. Nobody's seen you since your Optimistic Hall of Fame induction. So I don't think anybody even remembers who you are anymore.
Well, technically, they still haven't seen me. All they've done is heard me. But regardless, I'm back on the channel. This is my return.
And then he's going a week. I mean, going away.
This is like a special one-off appearance, so don't get your hopes up, guys.
Yeah, the dude's got college, and he's got his studies. So, anyway, he's got his own stuff, but I'm pretty sure we will see him again in the future. We just don't know when.
Exactly.
But I want to say, Matt,
thank you for having me on, Christian. It's been fun. I'm really looking forward to this event. And, yeah, overall, I hope that Crown Jewel ends up being a great event.
Yeah, well, they're 1-1, so let's hope that we get another one in the win column. Sorry, not loss column.
Ha!
Shut up, Willie!
That's a good one, though. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
That's almost bad as when you said Myro.
Okay, for one thing, that's a whole different story. We are not going back into that business.
No, because I legitimately got pissed off during that thing.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, but folks, don't worry. By this point, I got his name down. Miron.
Cut the pod. End the podcast.
All right. Heel Balor, you know what to do.
Of course I did. Well, we are the losers, and this is our lounge. We'll see y'all next week. Next week, yeah. Peace.